at what was known as the Jackson Hotel, which is located down where the Frewsburg Hotel and the fire department is today. Also located there, I do believe, was a livery stable. About 1906, I do believe it was, the hotel had burned, so they had moved over here in behind the igloo to a house that is still standing today. And eventually they built the house up here on Main Street. Also, there is to believe to be have been a boarding house where the igloo and the Anderson bar is also. And my understanding, Paul was telling me that also burned. He also had a set of livery stables. Most of this land in behind here used to be the Jackson property. At age 12, Robert worked in the canning factory here in Frewsburg during the harvest season. For every 10 hours he worked, he earned 75 cents pushing pea pods into the potting machine. That was around 1904. Young Robert was thought to be considered a little different, but he also enjoyed boyish amusements such as sleighing, skating, hunting, fishing, and he also loved playing pranks. I've been told and read a few stories about some of the pranks that he has done, and kind of like to share some of them. One prank that I understood that he did is him and some friends climbed the school roof, tied a rope around the bell, and when the whole town went to bed, they started ringing the bell. The town got up and ran out to see what the problem was and found nothing. Went back to sleep. Once again, Robert and the boys started ringing the bell again. Townspeople came out and were still confused at what was going on. And some people then actually believed that the bell tower was haunted, when actually it was just Robert and his friends playing a little prank. Also, that same school bell, he had tied quilts around it so it wouldn't ring the next day for school, because now it's the beginning of school. He also included pranks that kids through the years like doing, like tipping over houses and different items like that. He, while in school, he asked the teacher to get a drink of water. So he went to the back, looked out the window, and saw some guys down there shoveling some coal. So he got this bright idea. He put the dipper in the water when the teacher wasn't looking, out the window and went, drenched the guys below. Before anybody knew it, he was back in his seat. He was acting like he was studying, and he never got caught by the teacher. The guys below was determined that they were going to find out who did it, but lucky for Robert, he got away with most of the pranks. One time, him and some friends were sitting having lunch and gathered about, and a teacher who wasn't quite so well liked, and they came along, and he and broke the kids up and everything, and the kids kind of frowned on this, so they got up and they walked out of the school. Well, they in turn were expelled from school, and at the time in front of the board, they were there to explain the reason why they did what they did. So young Robert stood up for the boys in the group, and they had spoke for them, explained what had happened, and he basically won his argument with the board in that. So at the age of 14, Robert Howard Jackson actually won his first case. 1904, Robert's younger sister Helen was born. While in school, Frewsburg School, he joined the Literacy Society. He did that so that he can do public speaking. He joined the debate team, which competed against other schools. and he was considered the best debater in the crowd. At age 15, he gave a farewell speech for 3 retiring teachers from Frewsburg. At age 16, he led the meeting of the Democratic Party. In 1909, at age 17, Robert graduated from Frewsburg High. He wanted to learn more, so he took an extra year at Jamestown High and graduated from there in 1910. While in Jamestown, he joined the debate club there, known as Elysium. That was an all-male club that did debates and public speaking, and he became president of that. It was said he would work up an argument, raise his finger and point and say, "Mark U." Students then started calling him Mark U. Jackson. When he graduated from Jamestown High in 1910, he spoke to the class on the history and the natural beauty of Jamestown. He believed Frewsburg and Jamestown gave him a lifelong curiosity for knowledge. Jackson also thought that learning was a wealth that no thief could take away. His father did not want him to become a lawyer. He actually wanted him to become a doctor or something. And he told his son that there was no future in being a lawyer. Mr. Fletcher of Jamestown High School principal, and as Greg mentioned, Mrs. Mary Willard of Jamestown, a teacher of his, encouraged Jackson to go into law. They said that he had a gift for debate and writing skills that a lawyer needed. After Jamestown High, he went to work for Frank Mott at his law firm. He attended an Albany Law School, graduated after 1 year. He was not given a law degree at that point because of being under the age of 21. While at Albany Law School, he was introduced to a cousin of a classmate, Irene Gerhardt. Robert and Irene went skating and to dances together, and in June of 1912, when Jackson graduated from Albany Law School, he invited Irene to attend also. He then returned to Jamestown, continued on with Frank Mott's law firm. Then in 1913, he took the bar exam and passed it and became a legalized New York State lawyer. Irene decided to have him brought back here to Frewsburg and buried in the family lot at Maple Grove Cemetery. She wanted him back in the town he grew up in and back to the place and people he loved and cared so much. After his death, there's been several buildings and structures dedicated in his name. They are the Robert H. Jackson Elementary School, the Robert Jackson Square in Jamestown by the Love School, the Robert Jackson Center. There's a bridge on I-86 named after him, and most recently, the Robert H. Jackson Federal Building. And I have just recently learned from Karen just the other day that the Chautauqua County Airport Terminal in 1973 was also dedicated in his name. I just want everybody to remember this great, remarkable person that came from this town, who dedicated himself to his family, his town, his friends, his country, and most of all to the world. I want to thank everybody for attending today. Hope you learned something. I want to thank Greg Peterson for attending and to help me make this here happen also.
Harold wants local school children to learn more about the man for whom the local elementary school is named. He wants new local townspeople to know about the hometown boy who studied first here and followed a path to greater heights in national prominence. For those of us who are original Frewsburgers, the story of Robert H. Jackson has been and will continue to be told for generations to come. Great Uncle Bob Jackson would be proud of your patience, persistence, and positive words. Your work is a gift of sharing here at the Carroll Historical Society for all to see.